Hello there fellow StarCraft 2 fans, my name is ScarleTeYeS and today we will be looking at a game which does not include me. It shall be between DuckloadRa, aka WhiteRa, and ScarleTeYeS, who is playing the Teal Terran in the 9 o'clock position, whilst DuckloadRa is playing the Red Protoss in the 12 o'clock position. I must admit this is a bit of a delve into the unknown for me. I've never cast any pro-level games in inverted commas before, so we shall have to see how it goes. It's a bit of an experiment, so it should be okay. And who better to start off with for a pro game level Protoss player than WhiteRa, who has proved time and time again that he is indeed the master of the Protoss race, winning HDH1, I do believe, and seeded a high favourite for HDH2, so we'll see how that goes for him. Wishing him all the best of luck. Now, I have not watched this replay at all, so it's going to be very interesting for me to kind of see how the replay does evolve and how also my commentary evolves during this replay. So WhiteRa, they're sending in that. I'm going to call him WhiteRa for the rest of this because DuckloadRa is a bit of a mouthful. So WhiteRa is sending in that probe to do a little bit of scouting, whilst Scarlet is throwing down his first barracks and his supply depot. Not getting any gas yet, so not doing anything too tricky, as you can see. WhiteRa now throwing down his first gateway. Not much more you can do at the start of a Protoss build, and throwing down that second pylon to make sure he doesn't supply lock himself in the end. Scarlet's probe does see all this, so he's going to know exactly what's going on at this point in time. But again, it's all very standard openings, not much going on. These two workers having a bit of a duel there, running away, trying to get away from that SCV. And Scarlet now does have his refinery down. These probes going back to work. Scarlet's probe still hanging out there, and WhiteRa boosting out his first Zealot with it rallied way over into Scarlet's base. So we're going to see a little bit of early pressure from WhiteRa, throwing down that first assimilator as well to make sure he's got some gas going, and throwing down his cybernetics core. All very standard play here at the moment. Standard. This probe and this SCV still duking it out to see who is on top. WhiteRa's cleverly pulling back to recharge his shields and then go back at the SCV for some extra damage. However, Scarlet does have this first marine out, so he'll be shooing him away quite easily, as well as this first bunker down. So he's going to wall off with two supply depots, no doubt, and this bunker to make sure that he's not getting anything going on in here. Although this probe and this Zealot now running past this bunker and two marines. Going to have a look around the base again, but he's not going to get much done with this Zealot, I don't think. These marines are going to fend off this kind of early harass as well as they possibly can do. Yep. Oh, he is using the smoke though to great effect, making sure that he can't just start randomly shooting. This SCV still hanging out in WhiteRa's base. I'm surprised he hasn't picked it off yet, but he is rallying. WhiteRa is now rallying a Stalker to Scarlet's base, and this second barracks is also going up for Scarlet. WhiteRa now sending in this probe and killing a probe there with that Zealot as well. Killing two probes with that Zealot. Very, very impressive there with micro even. Scarlet queuing up a lot of probes there, trying to get his eco going, and as we do see, there is that wall off. WhiteRa now going for his robotics bay, as well as researching warp gate technology. I imagine we'll see end up seeing a proxy pylon going down not too far in the future. However, Scarlet is now getting his first factory and throwing out the mules for some extra economy. Yeah, and he still has one gas, so just running on a pretty standard opener there. No Destiny Cloudfist builds going on here. I hate the name Destiny Cloudfist, sorry Husky, but it's terrible. As you can see now, WhiteRa is throwing down more gateways. Scarlet is now researching Stimpack. Got a few marines coming out. WhiteRa still has a Zealot coming out. And should we see anything from the robotics bay yet? I'm not too sure. He is operating off two gas now though, so going for quite a gas heavy build. He does have this pylon in place to scout for any tricky business going on around here. Probably like if any Reapers wanted to jump up there, he'd have prior warning to if they were coming up. This Stalker has gone and killed something, but I must have missed it. It must have been a marine or something like that, as the shields are a little bit low. Getting a bit of lag, sorry about that. But he is WhiteRa is bringing out an Immortal, so that's going to help him quite a lot in his forward pushes. Got nice saturation going on here, really good, but that's what you expect from players of this caliber. And Scarlet is now throwing down his first starport. So it's kind of a modified Destiny Cloudfish build, or 111 build. It's a 211 build. Got a lot of Marines at the front now, just kind of chilling out, making sure White is not doing anything too tricky. And it does seem that White is throwing down his first expansion, as well as bringing out an observer to see what's going on up in Scarlet's base. Now warping in quite a few sentries and a zealot, and Scarlet is bringing out his first medivac, no doubt to get some healing, either do a drop or to scout the high ground. Possibilities are endless for Terran. Yeah, Terran. Anyway, White now throwing down this pylon so he can warp units in down here to support his natural. And Scarlet is now researching combat shields at his tech lab in order to give these Marines a bit of an extra oomph. And we do see a proxy pylon going down for White. Nicely placed there. It's very rare that players do scout this area, so great placement there. So take heed if you are on this map, Protoss players. Great place to put your pylon. I also do occasionally put it up here, which is a nice place because they don't often scout up this ramp. But I would say that is a possibly better option. Anyway, Right is now bringing out another Immortal to reinforce this already pretty strong Protoss army here, trying to get some saturation going on in his natural, but nothing too major right now. It looks like he's going for the gas in order to fund this more gas-heavy composition with these sentries and Immortals, but then again these don't cost any gas, so it doesn't matter too much. This Observer now going over to have a look, and this SCV is going to have a look around for Scarlet. Where's it going? It's going to run straight then to those Immortals and die. But he does see that force now. He's also bringing out another Observer to go with his main army, and Scarlet is now moving out with this sizable force of Marines and Medivacs. So he could be putting on really early pressure with this. We will have to see. He is now researching concussive shells, and White is bringing out more Immortals. It's a really heavily mortal build, this. I'm not so sure whether I agree with all these Immortals against all these Marines. We shall have to see how this engagement goes, but White does see this coming down the ramp, and it's going to engage with Stimpack. The force fields are going up. Beautiful placement separating these Marine ball, and the Guardian Shield is soaking up a lot of the damage there. These Marines are now really on their last legs, in effect. More great shields splitting up this army so they can't run back. These Medivacs are trying their best to heal everyone, but it's not going too well. White was pushing out, but decides to move back. White now bringing a Twilight Council into play. Where is it? There it is. As well as placing pylons in these areas just to make sure that no random drops do happen. And Scarlet is now bringing a engineering bay into play, as well as trying to get up his expansion. He does see that White does have this expansion here, so he needs to catch up in the economy in order to make sure that he can stay in this game. Bring down another barracks, as you can see, with a tech lab. Going to be bringing out some Marauders to effectively counter these Stalkers and Immortals, but I'm not so sure after that engagement if he can... He did lose a lot of Marines there. Units lost tab shows that he lost 23 Marines or so, give or take, depending on how many SCVs he lost at the start of the game. And whilst Right only lost 12, but the resources count is very, very similar, so he's probably still in this. I'm not going to dismiss him just yet. Anyway, Right is now bringing out a Zealot Charge, which is going to be fantastic against these Marauders and Marines. And as you can see, he's bringing a second Orbital Command, which is just finished. Going to be flying that over here, no doubt, to plant that down. But White is now bringing a Templar Archives into play. Where is that Templar Archive? There it is. So we might see some nice storms going off. But Scarlet is now bringing out some Ghost, is bringing down a Ghost Academy. So if we do see some EMPs, that's going to spell bad news for these Immortals with their hardened shields. And we do see Weapons Level 1 coming up for Scarlet as well, so giving him an extra bit of oomph against this Protoss army. However, White now does have these High Templar out, as well as, I imagine, going to be researching Psionic Storm anytime now. It's going to come. Let's see how fast he gets this. He does have the minerals to do it. He might be doing something else. He's just throwing down those 2 gates. It will come eventually. Anyway. Scarlet now moving out with this force. Nope, decides to come back. And it's all pretty much stationary now, and a bit of a standoff between the two forces. White Rat is, though, moving out with these. I'm pretty sure... And I don't know what he's going to do. He has thrown a Guardian Shield up there now. He's going to make some kind of push. These Marines and Marauders stim packing. Oh, and he's fed back the Medivacs, which is going to prove bad for them. Oh, he's force fielded them in there so they cannot escape, and it seems that this is going to be GG. Morphing in an Archon here and researching Psystorm now, but there's not much point, and it is indeed GG. Scarlet does go down valiantly. So, yep, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this first pro game that I've casted. Do leave me some feedback, tell me how I've done and things like that. Not the best, but, you know, I've probably done okay. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.